Welcome to the Women in Leadership, Body, Mind, Soul, and Business podcast. I'm Charlie.
And I'm Heather, and together we are working to connect women in leadership and business to build relationships and empower each other, improving the health and wellness of our community, body, mind, and soul, sharing the heart and soul of who we are and what we do.
Today's guest is a master of body movement and flowing energy within the body. Helping us move our way to a better mindset and better health is the always insightful and beautiful Michell Brown. Welcome back to the table, Michelle.
Thank you so much. I'm so happy to be here with you.
We always love having you on, and we always learn something new. But for new listeners, give us a brief rundown of who you are and what it is you do.
Okay. Well, my name's Michell Brown. My company's Dynamic Mobility Training, and I work with women to release stress, to have like tools and strategies and things you can do to drop into your body, because we tend to be outside of our body a lot during the day with all the tasks we have to do. So to come into your body and be able to release stress, to move your energy and build your energy, and to focus and to be able to listen and listen deeply inside and trust yourself. So that's where your leadership comes from, is when you trust yourself. And that's what the movement and the breath work that I do and the focus work, that's why you're doing it, is so that you can come inside and really find your truth, and then be able to communicate your truth to yourself and to other people around you.
And that is this week's topic, by the way.
Wow.
This week's topic is distorted sense of self. We're working with Asmita, distorted sense of self. It's a lot to do with that ego, and your own truth versus what's not true to you, and trying to filter that out can be really hard. It sounds as really simple as, is this true to me or is it not? But it's a lot more difficult than that, because there's a lot of areas that as you work within yourself, you find are varying shades of gray, right? Nothing's black and white. There's 5,000 shades of gray. And so working within the ego to, really be true to yourself.
I like the way you said it, that you trust yourself.
Yes.
Because I think that we think that there's a lot of things that we think, right? Or we have expectations, or we think that we're in alignment with something that somebody else has put on us. And we don't really realize that, because we're not being truthful to ourselves. And it's not like that we're showing up purposefully lying, but we're just off. Like it doesn't, and that energy is off, right? Am I making sense today?
Well, no, it's totally true. Finding your truth, it takes work, because we get pulled out of ourselves by the culture, by other people in our lives we haven't learned how to say no to, by the fact that we haven't learned how to say no to what's true to us, and we overgive, or especially women, right? We overgive or try to take care of people. And this needs to be a class in kindergarten, is to like own your truth, know your truth, don't overdo, yes, giving is amazing, but don't overgive yourself,
right,
for the sake of sacrificing your own well-being and your own truth and your own knowing. So, and that all takes work, because we don't have that kindergarten class. We have to learn it as we go, and sometimes we don't learn it till we learn it.
Right. And I'm still learning how to honor my own truth and what that looks like, because of spending so much time in a place where I didn't know who I was and what was true for me.
Right.
And or believing the untruths that I was, told to believe,
True.
growing up, whether
Right.
it be ideas or,
Sure.
whatever the case may be. But yeah,
Yeah.
what are a couple tools that we can use? You talked about breath work and things like that to work through this.
Right.
So, yeah.
It's a discovery basically. And I just wanted to respond to you about, finding out who you are. I mean, that's what our lives are, is finding out who we are.
Mhm.
And we can't find out who we are if we live on an island by ourselves.
Right.
You find out who you are by relating to everybody and responding and throwing away what you don't need from people and receiving what you do need that it aligns with your values.
Yes.
So I think you asked about tools. One of the tools is like really find some of your values. And your values are like, wow, I take care of myself. I respond to people when I can, and when I can't, I don't, I'm not hard on myself. Or we have all these values, specific values for ourselves. So learning what your values are, maybe your relationships with the close people in your life, that's a value, to have really strong relationships. So all of these things, these values help you find your truth, and it's great. I go through this, a few times a week, like, what are my values today, and how can I keep adding values to my values? And that just helps me get straight on finding my truth. Because if my value is taking care of myself and being healthy, but I'm like staying up way too late, being on the computer way too late at night, trying to give everybody what they want instead of taking care of myself, then I'm not sticking to my values.
Right. And if you're not sticking to your values, you're not honoring yourself.
It's true. So true. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think that's the number one tool, or one of the upper ones anyway. Another one is, another tool is to tune into your breath throughout the day, because your breath connects you to your spirit and your heart and your body. It's the flow between all of those. So this is the cool thing. You're not just doing it like to breathe, you're doing it so that you connect to your whole system inside your body, which houses your truth. Your body doesn't lie. It will not lie. It'll hold, it'll protect you as long as it can, but then it'll go, hey, you like crossed the line.
You did. Yeah. Right.
Yeah. So your breath connects you to your body that's so intelligent, and it connects you to your heart. And that our truth lies in our heart. It's not an overgiving heart, but it's a heart that it's like, that's the purest, truest emotion that we have, is being in our heart.
Yeah.
And that, so one exercise that I love to do is just to put your hand on your heart. You can put both hands or one hand and breathe into your heart. You can picture your heart, you can feel your heart, you can just sense that you have a heart, and allow yourself to breathe into your heart. Connect with your heart. And whatever you feel as you do this, it's okay. There's no right and there's no wrong to do this, because there's nothing you should be feeling or shouldn't be feeling. You're just connecting to home base. It's really valuable to connect to home base throughout your whole day. It brings you back. Kind of like when you open up too many tabs on your computer.
Yeah, it's like opening too many tabs on your brain, right?
It's true. So
you get to do a review.
yeah, this can also really help you revive your energy, because our energy ebbs and flows during the day. And as you breathe into your heart and put your hand there, you're connecting with some meridians, energy pathways through your heart. And you're also getting, there's a lung pathway there, there's a heart pathway, there's a thymus gland pathway. There's all kinds of pathways by just putting your hands on your heart. You're covering a big area there. So you're allowing energy to flow. And I love that.
It feels good.
That's your favorite, right?
Favorite. You want to let your energy flow. We have to keep letting our energy flow, because sometimes it gets hijacked. And it could be quite often that you let your energy get hijacked until, you build enough skill to not do that. So this breathing into your heart, it's like, coming back to my home, my center. And one little thing you can do if you're stressed, if you feel a lot of stress, is right between the little pinky and the fourth finger, there's a little valley. If you go just, work down from the end of the fingers, that little web, and just down the hand, there's a little valley.
On the back side of the hand.
Yeah, the back side of the hand. If you just tap that valley, just tap in there between that fourth finger and little pinky finger. This tapping turns off one of the biggest stress. It's the fight or flight mechanism of your body, basically.
Okay.
This meridian that you're tapping, or part of it anyway, tells your body to turn off stress. Basically, you're not being attacked right now. You're just like telling yourself you are,
I
in your
can
mind.
literally feel my heart rate slowing down.
That's great.
As we're sitting here. That's awesome. This is a really good tool for me to teach my kids with anxiety.
Yes.
That's what I was thinking. I was like, this is awesome.
Right?
This is awesome for like right before we go live anytime, or we go into a meeting someone new, or go into a meeting. Like when you go in the bathroom and you do that last potty stop because you got a nervous bladder. I don't know who that is. I totally see myself on the toilet taking my breaths, right? Like, okay, nervous bladder, I acknowledge you, and I'm gonna add this.
Great.
I'm
really
so good.
And I don't know about you guys, but before we go on the podcast, my heart rate goes like way up. My anxiety is like up here, and I have to take a few deep breaths and then move forward, because I can feel my anxiety going up. And when my anxiety gets way up, then my brain doesn't function well enough for me to comprehend the words that I want to say, and it becomes a whole thing. So for those of you with issues around anxiety or things like that, or lowering your heart rate, PTSD,
it's really good for that.
This is so cool.
Because it's like, because we're in our heads, right? When these things are happening, we're in our memories, we're in the memory of the situation. So we're not even actually present for whatever stress might be in front of us. Right. So I like this because I like the way you're dropping into your body. I love that language, like dropping in to ourselves.
Yeah. Right. Right.
I
When
feel
you're in
so
stress
calm.
mode, it's like the blood drains out of you, out of your head. And, it goes down into your body because you have to run or flee, right? When you're in fight or flight. So what you're doing here is just regulating everything, like going, okay, heart, okay, brain, we're not threatened right now. It's just, we're a little afraid, basically. Like it's just some fear. And, fear is not bad. Fear is awesome because it gets you going, right? And it helps you grow.
Right.
Tapping of your hand and turning off that fight or flight mechanism really is helpful.
I feel so calm right now.
Right. Me too.
Ready
That's
to
fantastic.
I feel like this would be a really good point to transition into that meditation for the day. What do
I
you
think
guys
so.
think?
Yeah.
Okay, let's do
Now
it.
we're all relaxed, and hopefully you've already put your feet on the floor. And if you're driving, do not close your eyes for the meditation.
This one's a nice short one today, you guys. We are on day 38 of meditations from the mat. Deep breath.
In through their nose, out through the mouth.
I listen to the wind of my soul. Cat Stevens. Brahmacharya or temperance gets a very bad rap in our culture. Most of us associate moderation with repression. The hero of the story loves the fair maiden, loves her passionately, and then the repressive forces come in to wreck the day. No one ever seems to dedicate poems, screenplays, or odes to the joys of moderation or the rewards of passionate balance. As a species, we seem unable to see the forest for the trees. Despite the staggering amount of evidence that excess destroys our dreams, there appears to be a human blind spot when it comes to the possibility that our most passionate existence might actually be accessed through balance and moderation. Once we actually start to bring Brahmacharya into our lives, we find that this yama is about truly following one's heart. We see that the chaos of immoderation brings us pain and anguish, and that the calm, clear energy released by moderation actually affords us the opportunity to realize all our dreams. The moment I fall off the moderation wagon, my mind becomes consumed by the fact that I am no longer living up to my potential. My mind fills with obsessive concern. I know all too well the ways I am self-sabotaging. My heart yearns for peace. Then I wake up one morning and find that I have made a decision. I am ready to let go of whatever it is that's consuming me. I am ready to reestablish Brahmacharya in my life. I am ready to follow my heart. I am ready to listen to the wind of my soul.
That was good.
Listen to the wind of your soul.
Mm. It's beautiful.
Right?
Absolutely beautiful.
Cat Stevens knew how to write a song.
Yes,
Right?
totally.
And for those of you who do not know who Cat Stevens is, Google it.
Google's your friend.
Google is your friend. Okay. I remember listening to my parents' old Cat Stevens records when I was a kid. So, it's been a while since I've heard him on the radio.
Did you say records?
Records, like actual vinyl, the original ones.
They're making a comeback,
Right? I know.
They are.
People are really appreciating the quality of sound
Yeah.
that you get from a vinyl.
My son, he is almost 14. He has a record player in his room and he likes to listen to records. So as one of his rewards that he earns, because he's on the spectrum, but one of his rewards that he earns with grandpa with his working on his Boy Scout stuff is records. Grandpa will get him records from like different places, and he's got some really good ones. He got a Styx one the other day, so I was like, rock on.
Oh, wow.
So anyway,
I do think that was a good meditation, because I think sometimes we do feel like moderation is like almost like putting ourselves into a box, when really we're just trying to help ourselves.
right, give ourselves breathing room.
Yeah.
Slowing down is not popular.
No,
It's not.
no.
They were talking, I was listening to someone talk about 7-second videos are the new stream, and they were talking about how by that being the new normal, no, we're not going to get any change done in the world. You can't get any change made in 7 seconds.
True.
So we're actually, our attention spans will become less. And so people need to make a point and slow down.
Yeah. Yeah. I actually came across a post earlier today that basically said that we need to slow down. You know, everything's moving so fast that we need to take a chance to slow down, because we don't see the road ahead of us because we're going too fast. And I think that just really settles into like the state of the world right now. And
I think everyone's really, really eager to get back to what feels normal, right? And I think that they haven't realized or connected to there needs to be a new normal.
Yes,
That's
we learned
brilliant.
a few things through this whole pandemic, you guys. Let's not lose sight of that. We learned how to tune back into ourselves when the world shut down, you know, and a lot of people, you know, shut themselves in, at least for a little while. You know, everybody put up these protective walls, and now there's breathing room, and people are going for it. And, you know, don't become a workaholic, because the other thing, part of that post that I saw was that we should stop wearing our overtiredness, overworked egos as a badge of honor. Right. Okay, we're not honoring ourselves to pay somebody else's bills. You know, if we don't work for ourselves and we work for a company and we work our butts off, who are we really working our butts off for them or for us? So take a step back and you know, just do take it.
I love the dog. She's like she's great.
She threw me off there for a second. It's fine.
She's like sleeping right in between us, and she's snoring today really good. I think our weather in the Pacific Northwest has been rain, sunshine, rain, sunshine, rain, sunshine all week, and her little sinuses are like really, you know, feeling that.
Pollen too, right?
Yeah. So, and she's half pug. So she's kind of, you know, she's got, so when she snores, she snores.
You'll see her every once in a while on camera. But this week's quote: if you compare yourself to others, you may become vain or bitter, for always there will be greater and lesser persons than yourself. Max Ehrmann.
Whew. There's always more out there, right? And the journey is ours to take individually.
It's so true. I think we get taught how to compare ourselves.
Yeah,
like big time.
Comparison is taught, and it breaks us up, and it doesn't allow us to create good teams.
Yeah.
Like everybody's unique and different on the team. That's why we have the team. But if we're like trying to be someone else, we're not going to have a great team. It's just going to be, you know, fighting kind of thing.
Right.
Oh,
right.
Ooh. I feel like you just hit the nail head. Like, wow. I love the way you said that. You did that together with a nice little pretty bow. Yes.
Perfect, Michelle. Thank you.
You're
So
welcome.
drop into who you are and know your own truths. I love it. And if you need help with that, you can see all of Michelle's contact information in the description, and links are below.
Yeah.
It's all there. We love her so much. So something that's really important to me personally, and to Charlie too, is making health a priority for ourselves. And through our journey, we have each shed over 170 pounds. And it's one of those things that we have to keep talking about and making sure that we're mindful. And as we look at ourselves and reflect, so it's important to us. So today I just have I read an article and we got some tips on some mindfulness, keeping track of like how often you're eating, to help your energy. Like, so are you just eating one big meal a day? Are you eating little meals? Are your, snacks for energy, or are they for comfort? Just being aware of that. My note said small is better, especially lunch. I personally, actually, I don't like that statement. I personally found that eating 2 meals a day and doing more like an intermittent fasting, where I have like a good breakfast and a good early mid-afternoon lunch, early dinner, and then having my food completely digested before I hit bedtime, made a difference in my body's ability to then heal. It wasn't worried all night about digesting food. It was worried about, doing its job as a body and healing. So it's just a different way to look at things. So
and different things work for different people too. So make sure you
tried the smaller meals at lunch, there's another way to try. Like there, it's about opening your minds. Basically, we should avoid crash diets.
Right.
Don't do that to yourself. Make sure you're using caffeine to your advantage and not using it like as a crutch that makes you end up staying up all night, right? So being aware of your caffeine intake, of course, limiting alcohol, and always be hydrated.
Drink your water.
Especially, I always want to say that after doing some energy work with Michelle and getting things flowing, you need to flow your body with some water too. So, you're getting things moving. Your body wants to flush the toxins out when you're doing these things. Your body wants to get rid of it and not hold on to it. So if you want to get rid of it, drink your water. So.
Great advice.
Drink up.
All right. Up and coming events.
Go enjoy some sunshine. Spring is in the air. The weather's getting nicer. If the sun's out, go chase yourself some sunshine. Get your vitamin D on, and it's time to get into your garden if that's your thing. I have hundreds of starts currently growing in my living room. And I can't wait to get them outside, but I'm currently prepping
to the point that she had to get a second greenhouse for the other nice window. And it was so cool watching her greenhouse rain inside the little greenhouse this week. Like she had to vent it, but she's got starts up already, and she just planted them last weekend. So it's time, you guys, get things started, get your dirt on.
And it feels so good to watch something grow, and then the end result, at least for me, some of what I'm planting is flowers, but most of it is vegetables. I get to eat that when I'm done, right? I get to enjoy the fruits of my labor, literally. And
it's pretty and fun.
So good. And it's so much better for you when you grow it yourself. So if that's your thing and that's something you can do, go do it. The dirt also has so many benefits and nutrients in it just by touching the dirt. If it's safe to do so, barefoot in your garden is actually really good for your neurosystem.
Oh, interesting. Well, that makes sense, because we've had the yoga mats that are like rocks that you walk across, and to stimulate the different meridians, right? Am I talking right? Yeah. I was like, oh, I've done that thing before. Like, that makes sense. I would make sure that you are in an organic garden.
Yes. Like I said, if it's safe to do so.
And that's what safe to do so means. Like, because if you have a lot of pesticides in your garden and you're walking barefoot, then you're absorbing those pesticides. So just that's why we would caution you against that, right? So please don't mothball your garden.
And if you do use fertilizer, use the organic kind that is still good for the bees. Our bees are struggling around the world, and so helping the bees helps the world, because without the bees, we have no food.
We need the bees.
We need the bees. So be
We
nice
need
to
the
your
bees.
bees. We have updated the website recently, and we want you guys to go check it out. www.womeninleadershipbsmb.com. We've got the blogs are getting posted, and there's so many resources and other things.
The
It's so cool.
PTSD episode is a resource page in and of itself. So if you remember our PTSD episode, or if this is the first time you're hearing us talk about that, there's a whole resource page on our website now for PTSD with all the links. There's chat links. There's all sorts of levels of being able to get help. If you are not comfortable making a phone call, you can text somebody, you can send an email, and there's different ways to reach out and get help.
Absolutely.
And they're all there. And I was so excited to get that up.
Yes.
I'm very excited for it all coming together too.
And if you're out there and you're struggling and you need some resources, reach out. We are, gathering more and more resources every day, and we want to help you find the help that you need. So this week's our cause is a quarter
This week.
and
a whole quarter.
ends at the end of the month, March 31st, with the gala is the Now Networking, which help women overcome adversity, follow them and support them and mentor them through college and into career paths. And it's just a really cool nonprofit. All the links are in the comments or the description, so go check it out.
Michelle, thank you so much for joining us again today.
Thank you for inviting me. It's so fun. It's always fun to be with you all. Just always.
Absolutely. I was really looking forward to seeing you this morning. So thank you again.
Yay, me too.
I want to say one more thing. I absolutely love your reels and all of your little videos telling us to get moving energy. I'm always like, oh, that's a good one. I'm going to save it. Oh, that's a good one. I got to save that too.
Oh,
ooh, and then I'm like, oh, you know what you need to do? Michelle, you got to go find Michelle's thing. She did a thing like this. And
She's pulling her
I'm
arms
like,
down.
she's doing something like this. And it helped me that.
That was like, whoa.
Yes.
Get yourself ready to talk.
So go check out Michelle's social media. She does an amazing job. She's always on there. Not only does she do reels, but she has her own YouTube channel too that we can sneak and peeks at. So go check.
And she has a class coming up on Monday, the 28th at 5 p.m. Pacific.
Right.
Pacific.
And it is fabulous. Charlie and I both got to go to the last one, and it was so awesome. And I want to say real quick, it is for everybody, no matter where your body is at, no matter what level of fitness you're at, is for you.
Mm-hmm.
It is for everybody of all ages. It's really amazing.
From the chair, from the couch, from the bed, from the floor, wherever you can move your body, Michelle will help you do it.
If you have to lock yourself in the car to wiggle a little bit, do it. Take the time for yourself. It will be worth it.
So listeners, thank you so much for joining us today on the Women in Leadership, Body, Mind, Soul, and Business podcast. We love you all. Thank you for joining us.
Namaste.